Hi, I'm Mary, a librarian and book reviewer with a focus on stories written for kids, tweens, and teens. Today I get to share with you this book called Twinkling Wings and Toothy Things, written by Nate Muller and illustrated by Nathalie Ortega. This is the story of Nutter Nate, who has a very important job in the tooth fairy realm. He has to make sure that all of those baby teeth grow up into big, strong, grown-up teeth to get returned to the children who lost them. He works really hard to make sure that his job is done just right, and if he really does do a good job, he might just become a tooth fairy himself one day. This fun story imagines what the tooth fairy realm might be like and how tooth fairies come to be. So there are lots of whimsical and imaginative elements to this story, especially for readers who maybe have the tooth fairy in their home already. And while this one does turn the tooth fairy legend a little bit on its head as far as having grown-up teeth appear overnight, it's still fun and progresses in a way that children will find both imaginative and inspiring for their own creativity. The story is written for an elementary school-aged audience. As you can see, there's a fair amount of text in here, and it's narrative in style, so better for those readers who have a longer attention span and are more involved in the storytelling aspect of books. There's also a lot of really detailed and cartoon-like illustrations, so that adds to the visual appeal of the books for young readers. And you get to see all sorts of different characters that are aiming to be tooth fairies. So it does, again, kind of turn that tooth fairy story on its head a little bit and imagines things in a slightly different way than is traditionally done. So as you're going through the book, you see Nate go through all of these experiences. He brings the teeth overnight to two human children, and things don't go exactly as planned. So there's also a bit of a moral lesson in this book as well, where sometimes mistakes happen, and it's through those mistakes that we learn and get better, and it's only by doing that that you can earn your spot, in this case, as a tooth fairy. But for readers who are making mistakes themselves, learning how to be creative, imagining different worlds, this book has a lot to offer in both its initial design and also in the messages that it imparts, particularly for families for whom the tooth fairy is an important character. If this book sounds like a great fit for you or for someone you know, I hope you look for it wherever you get your books.